Been a while. About 2 months, actually. Regrettably, I've had a lot going on in the last couple of months, including even being sick now towards the tail end of it. I'll keep it brief and then we'll get into the meat of the video. I've had a lot going on the last couple of months. I know I'd updated before about needing to find a new job, found a new job, and then took 8 weeks of training in that new job. All of that time of which was very varying schedules, and a few weeks of which I just didn't have the energy to do a whole lot because they had me up so early. I hate to say even my Twitch schedule was messed up by that as well, but hopefully going forward, we can keep it a bit more consistent. Hopefully I can actually have TikToks, YouTube videos, and more consistent Twitch streams. Time will tell, but I'm hopeful. Again, pardon my voice. Finally reached a point where some of my stuff could be a bit more consistent, and then I got sick. There's been a lot I have not been able to talk about in regards to Dead by Daylight these last couple of months, just because I haven't had the time or I've been too tired. So let's talk about it. First up, Pinhead's gone. Well, at the very least, you can't purchase them anymore. I know a lot of people were excited to hear that news. Unfortunately, I wish it was the opposite of that. I really wish negotiations with Clive Barker had gone positively, even if it meant a rework of The Killer. Don't get me wrong, The Killer probably needed a rework. I enjoyed playing them, but they weren't very fun to play against. I would have been okay with a rework if it meant they could stay in the game. And regardless of our feelings on a particular character in the game, we should never be happy about losing a license. That's not a good thing for Dead by Daylight long term, and that's not a good thing for us. That's less options. Now, I wasn't around in the Dead by Daylight scene whenever Stranger Things came out and was lost. I was taking a several-year-long hiatus from the game. Not on purpose, I just did not find the game fun at the time. I can't speak for how people felt when that chapter was lost, but for how people felt a while after the chapter was gone was not great. And I kind of hope it's the same with Hellraiser. The character in the game, from a community perspective, was pretty contentious, but it's never a good thing to lose a license. It was a sad day to see him go. Oh my gosh. The Ghoul. So many things I could say about the Ghoul. For instance, I am tired of going against the Ghoul. Like I just said with Pinhead, I understand the reasons why some people didn't like them. They're not as fun to play against as they are to play. We essentially just got a replacement with the Ghoul. Hi, buddy. Come here. And by that I mean essentially the same thing. They're fun to play when they're not a buggy mess. They're not very fun to play against. And part of that might be of a bias at this point because of how many matches I've gone against the Ghoul. They don't feel fun to play against. If anything, it feels more like a chore. Do I think he needs a rework like Pinhead needed though? No, absolutely not. Some tweaking, sure. Make his hits be more consistent. As it currently stands, he could sometimes hit you through walls with his power. Sometimes he's right next to you and it doesn't hit you at all. I think he just needs a little bit of tweaking and he'd be fine. That being said though, I am done going against the Ghoul. And I hate to say it, while I'm very much looking forward to Five Nights at Freddy's, it's gonna be the same problem with Five Nights at Freddy's. Do not get me started on this year's Blood Moon event. Actually, you know what, on second thought, let's get started on the Blood Moon event. Holy hell, is it boring this year. There's a lot of people last year that found it lacking in the sense that there wasn't a whole lot to do outside of the normal gameplay, but I loved the massive blood point gains that you got from it. Massive blood point gains. This year, it feels like they were going for something more experimental, which from what I've heard has been somewhat confirmed that it really was just experimental with way less blood point gains. Last year's Blood Moon event, I feel like I could go into a trial and leave with a few 100,000 blood points. This year, I'm lucky if I get maybe 100,000. On top of that, it's only really fun from a survivor perspective, or at the very least, more engaging from the survivor perspective, because we have the new generators, we have the jerry cans. From the killer side, it doesn't feel like anything changed, and it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere near as much of a blood point gain as the survivors are. Where last year, we had the blood basins, while didn't do a whole lot, were cool visually, and you got a massive blood point gain after every match. And I'm not sure exactly how true this is. I don't know if it's hearsay or if it was confirmed, but from what I'm hearing, the developers were also saying the mechanics involving the new generators weren't even complete, but they had to put them out. That they were planning to do more for both the killer and the survivor. They just didn't have time. I'm pretty sure this is not a hot take, but here's my take on that. Rather than putting out a half-baked thing, which communities far and wide, not just Dead by Daylights, have already shown time and time again we would rather you put extra time towards this rather than announcing something that you don't have time to complete. I would rather have you just given us the same event as last year, Blood Bases, Blood Point Gains, rather than this half-baked Blood Moon event. This year feels so much more boring and far less rewarding than the last one. Not to mention from the killer perspective, because I play on both sides about equally. Not only is it essentially just the same gameplay loop as regular Dead by Daylight, if anything, it feels worse because there are now 4 generators that survivors can complete significantly faster than a regular generator. I know it's probably a skill issue. I've survived several of the Blood Moon trials as a survivor. Normally, I don't survive a lot. And as killer, I maybe get a 2K at most. I think I maybe one match, got a 3K. It's been abysmal from the killer perspective of it. I would very much have rather just had last year's Blood Moon event redone this year. And then they gave us the better stuff next year. I guess what I'm trying to say is behavior you could have done a lot better. Even if it just meant recycling last year's stuff and putting out the new stuff next year. I know you guys had a lot of stuff delayed due to the health updates coming, which is awesome that we're getting the health updates, but if it puts it to the point that it's not going to be ready on time, and you're already delaying stuff anyway, just delay that event till next year. Or recycle it for the Halloween event instead. Those blood generators would have been awesome for the Halloween event in a more complete state. I'm just saying it did not have to be this event. It could have been put off to another event later in the year, or even next year. Oh, I'm running out of breath. Last thing, and I love this, small thing in terms of content that we got, but also a massive thing in terms of content that we got that's just exciting. Dead by Daylight is finally listening to its community a little bit more and in being a little bit more inclusive on the characters that we're adding. Dead by Daylight is finally putting out their first trans character in the game, which is amazing. This game for a while has been criticized for its lack of inclusivity on various things. It's very nice to see they're finally working on that, even if a little bit. Honestly, it's a breath of fresh air from what we've normally been getting from Dead by Daylight. I'll take it. The PTB is up now, available for it. There are even some cosmetics that you can view for the new survivor in the PTB as well, and they look amazing. Everything about this paragraph, because it is just a survivor, it's not a full chapter, everything about this paragraph so far looks amazing. 2 of the 3 perks look absolutely stellar. One of them is, but 2 out of 3? That's not bad. I'll definitely take that. Anyway, guys, if you made it this far in the video, thank you. If you like my content, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff helps the channel amazingly. Hopefully going forward, my content will be a lot more consistent. So far, my longer-term personal scheduling looks that way. And next time I see you guys, next time I talk to you guys, my voice shouldn't be this. At least not on YouTube. And I should be back down in my set too. It's kind of a disaster down there right now. Anyway, I'll yap your ear off if given the chance. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out of breath.